Yeah,
Like,
I was actually taken to see a seer.
okay.
In this place, they tell you how your future, if you're really going to make it. So they actually told me I was from the water, that I'm a marine, like Obanje, something like that. The woman told me to do some settlements, that if I make these settlements, I can now see money, make money as a Yahoo boy. But the money, the amount of money this woman was calling, those niggas and even the boss I came to stay with, they weren't willing to make provisions for me to make those sacrifices. There are guys who, what they do is they eat their physics.
Wow.
Yeah. There are HKs that hustle kingdom like that do all of that. You know, the boss using the boy and all of that. Bad things I'm regretting now. I just wanted that peace. Even if it's just for a short period of time.
The person who picked you up, wasn't the person afraid that maybe you were a mole or something?
No.
Thank you for joining us on this educational podcast. And right about time on this Untamed session, we are going to be having to walk the journey and the path of the tragic experience of Mr. David Adedotun, who currently is turning the tables for good, as his name implies, the renewed crown. And so, guys, I implore you to walk with me through the journey of Mr. David Adedotun.
Thank you, sir.
It's beautiful having you here.
Thank you, sir.
This is going to be really, really personal. And I'm going to do it in this way because I came across a post you made on Facebook, and you said quite a lot of things about yourself. But I believe that there is more to it than it meets the eye on Facebook.
Exactly.
So let's start from when you were born in 1999.
Yeah,
Is that right?
exactly.
1999. So 1999, you said you were born out of wedlock.
Yeah, I didn't get to know who my dad was.
You didn't get to know who your dad
I
was?
didn't even get to see him. I just heard stories about him.
Oh,
My mom told me a little story about him.
about your dad.
Exactly.
He was there when you were giving birth to, or he left before you
He
were
left
giving birth
after
to?
I was giving birth to.
After you were giving birth
Yeah.
to. So I saw something, you said your mom gave birth to you and she had a lot
Yeah.
going on in her life.
Yeah.
Can you talk about it?
My mom was really going through a lot. My dad really messed her up. My dad really caused a lot of havoc in her life. It got to a point my mom had to move into prostitution to see that I go through school. She also suffered from a whole lot of infirmity, like fibroid. She actually died of fibroid. Medically, she died of fibroid.
You talked about her having HIV.
Exactly, yes.
Contacting HIV from her sexual escapades.
And all of that. Yeah.
Let's go down memory lane.
All right.
As it regards your mom.
Okay.
Your mom, doesn't she have a family?
She came
Was she born an orphan? Was she adopted from a motherless baby's home or picked on the street?
No, she came from a wealthy family.
Okay.
She has 7 siblings who are doing very, very well. Most of them are in abroad currently now. So she's from a very wealthy family.
So why kind of lifestyle that your mom got herself into if she's coming from a family that is wealthy?
All right. My mom was a victim of abuse. I felt she didn't really find the love she was finding at home. That was what led her to go outside, find love elsewhere. And that
She told you?
Yeah, she actually told me.
Did she go in details?
Yeah, she told me stories about her experiences, how she met my dad and the abuses she had to go through at home from her mom. Because her mom was actually maltreating her and all of that. So I felt she needed this love. She couldn't find that love at home, so she had to go outside to look for that love before she became vulnerable and fell into the hands of my dad, who messed her life up and all of that.
She told you your dad messed her life
exactly.
up. Did she tell you in what way?
Yeah, my dad was a womanizer and he was a woman beater too.
Oh.
So my dad was actually beating my mom. Even while my mom was pregnant for me, she as well told me all of that. So she really went through a whole lot of experiences, all in the name she was finding love and looking for greener pastures, just to see that her son becomes something tomorrow.
So in the course of her prostituting,
Yeah,
what was it like? She leaves you at home and then
exactly. It was really a terrible experiences. She goes at night, comes back in the morning. She leaves me alone at home. She comes back in the morning.
at what point did you know that she was prostituting?
I
Like at
was
what
I
age?
was I was actually 12 then.
12.
Yeah, I was 12 years old.
You said you went through a series of abuse, trauma, and
Yeah,
stuff like
I
that.
hope
Was it as a result of her going out to prostitute and stuff like
exactly. There's nothing as painful as seeing your mother going out to prostitute and sleep with other men. So that alone created a trauma in my life.
that? She comes back with the men, or she comes back with
She comes
things?
back, most times she comes back with condoms and all of that. Sometimes she even comes back home drunk and all of that. So that alone created a very big trauma in my head. It was really painful seeing my mom going through all of that, just to see that I become something tomorrow.
When she leaves you at home,
Yeah,
what do you then get to do?
I stay at home alone, but before then I'd already become a victim of drug. I was smoking. So most times when she leaves, I'm all alone, and this gives me an opportunity to do all of that.
This smoking, was she the one who introduced you to it, or her male friends, or who introduced
No,
you
it
to
wasn't.
smoking?
That was friends, peer group and all of that. But notwithstanding, I was also looking for a means to
You were also looking for succor.
exactly.
Your mom wasn't there. She was going out to do one or two
Exactly.
naughty
So
things.
I was looking for something else to derive my joy from, derive my happiness from, and be safe and okay.
So it means that you were living in a place that is actually, let me use the word slum,
Yeah,
or trenches.
it's actually a slum. If you've heard of Orile, we stay in Orile as of
Lagos.
then. Yeah, so that's a very terrible place. It's a very dirty area as well. That's a ghetto. So a lot of things were happening there already. It takes a whole lot to stand there as a young person. A lot of vices, cultism, drugs. Prostitution was so rampant there, and drug addiction as well.
So your mom, didn't her family get to know that she was in such acts?
Yeah, I feel they later realized, but I felt it was already too late. A lot of damages was already done on our own side before they were even willing to help her to an extent. And on a long run, they still weren't willing to grant her her desires.
What was her heart desire?
Okay, when she was diagnosed of fibroid, she said she wanted to open up a business, to start up a business that the family should contribute to our well-being and contribute, so that
to open up a business.
Exactly.
Isn't that the wrong thing to think of for someone who has fibroid? Why were they not talking about treating her?
Yeah, she actually wanted, they gave her an opportunity to do a surgery, but she was scared. She said if she goes for the surgery, she would die. She had that fear. So all that she wanted was to,
Just live her life.
Exactly, start up a business and all of that. But they refused. They refused because of her character before she left the house. They were so angry with her because one of the reasons was that she gave birth to me out of wedlock.
She looked like a rebellious
Exactly,
child.
exactly. And the man in question wasn't even really who they wanted.
Yeah.
Based on my dad was a Yoruba and all of that. There was this ethnicity conflict and all of that. Sometimes the Igbo don't really like getting married to the Yorubas, and the Yorubas don't like getting married to the Igbos. So there was this hatred they had for her and the offspring, which is me as well. So.
And she eventually passed on.
Yeah, she died of
complications.
Yeah.
Health complications.
Stories said it that she was 4 months pregnant for my stepdad.
So it means for your stepdad.
Yeah,
not your dad, your stepdad. Yeah, it means that she got into another relationship.
Yeah, she got into another marital.
Was she properly wedded?
No. She wasn't. She wasn't actually.
Oh, she was 4 months pregnant at the time of her demise.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, your mom, you talked about her contracting the human immunodeficiency virus.
Exactly.
So I want to ask, at what point was she diagnosed of this virus? Was it before birthing you or after you were birthed?
It was after I was birthed, after many years.
Or after many years?
Yeah, I was birthed.
Okay, as a result of like escapades,
sexual escapades and all of that.
Hope you got yourself like tested to be sure you're safe.
Yes, I've done that.
Sorry to interrupt your view. Please, we'd like to reiterate that the essence of making this video is to inform and awaken young people and parents. Young people is a call for reflection so that you do not fall into the same traps. As we all know, the best way to get to where you've not been is to ride on the wings of experiences of people who have been there. And for parents, this is a call and a reminder that your choices and your actions matter deeply. And please, if this message speaks to you, do well to hit the like button. By so doing, you help the YouTube algorithm to push this video to many young people out there and parents, as to help salvage many people who are already towing the wrong path, and to help inform parents on the need for them to make the right choices and take the right actions for the upbringing of the next generation. And in a world where a lot of wrong and misleading information is flying on the digital space, we have chosen to change the narrative by sticking to educational and transformational contents. And by hitting the subscribe button, you join us in this movement. By turning on the bell notification, you get notified every time we make educational and transformational contents on this space. Thank you. Let's head back to the video. God bless you. Your dad, is he still alive?
No, he's not alive anymore. I heard a little story about him. This time they said he was sick and all of that. But I didn't really get to see the man.
You didn't even get to see him?
No,
for
I don't
one
even
day?
know how he looks like.
Really?
The things I know about him were the little things my mom.
Your mom told you,
Exactly.
and they were not good things?
No, they weren't. And I wouldn't want to even be like him, my dad. Exactly. And that was one of the promises I made to my mom.
Okay.
Not to be like him.
Not to be like your dad. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
After the demise of your mom, what was life like? Did you get to stay with your mom's parents? What happened?
Yeah, I actually stayed with my aunt and grandmom for a while.
At what age?
I was 12.
You were 12?
Yeah,
at
12,
the time
13.
Your mom passed on?
Yeah.
And at 13, you were already with your aunt?
My auntie, yeah.
That's your mom's
sibling, my mom's younger sister.
Younger sister. So why didn't you stay under her tutelage? Wasn't she of good repute, or
exactly?
What really happened?
I was supposed to stay with them, but it was while I was with them, I went through a lot of maltreatment, child molestation. Sometimes I had to quit school, all because I'm doing house chores and all of that. So it was really, really a terrible experience. In fact, I even got my victory through the human rights. The family who was staying nearby saw, because it was so obvious, sometimes there are bruises on my back, bruises on my face. If you look properly, you would see a black spot here. So that was one of the injury I sustained while I was with her. So there was this family around who saw all of these things I was going through. She actually reported the case to the police, but the police couldn't help. So they met the human rights and all of that. That was how I got my victory.
So when they met the human rights, what now happened?
It was really, really a serious case. The family who brought me to the human rights, they were offering and helping hand. They said, okay, if you can't stay with them, you can now stay with us. So I had to stay with that family for a while. Immediately I left my auntie's place. I had to stay with the family for a while.
From your post, you said you started doing drug at 12.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And from what you said here, you said you started doing drugs at 12.
Exactly.
Was it cigarette or what?
I did cigarettes, I did loud.
Cigarette, like at what age?
Yeah, I started smoking cigarette at a very tender age. I started smoking cigarette at 10. Then I had to move, digress into other drugs like loud, marijuana. I even did pills as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Just because you wanted to find this
solace, peace.
Cool.
That peace I couldn't find in the family and all of that.
After then, What was life
Okay,
like for you?
life was still terrible because there was this love I was still searching. And the fact that I'm staying with people didn't give me that awareness. There was this love I needed, there was this freedom. Most times the way they talk to you, words they use, and it makes you think about your past. It reminds you that you're an orphan.
Yeah, that
you,
you
you
have no
know you
one.
have no one to run to, you have nowhere to go to. So life didn't really feel okay, even staying with people. I had to stay with pastors, a whole lot of people, even though I know that at some point I really didn't do well and all of that.
You said you didn't do well.
Yeah.
What do you think are the issues you were having with them? I know probably because you are coming from a background of quite some negative experiences which formed certain character traits in you. There might be certain things you did you are not proud of, and probably those things are friction in your relationship with these people you stayed with. Can you mention like some of those things or what you think are those things that you were doing?
Experiences makes up your belief.
Or your
Experiences are
behavior
what defines your interpretation and perception
about
towards
things.
people and
Yeah.
a lot of things around. So I feel if I was submissive enough, at some point I would have gotten a better relationship with them.
Yeah, so you weren't submissive.
I feel like I wasn't really submissive. I wasn't really humble enough, based on the fact that I'm coming from a very terrible place and all of that.
On your page, you said something about joining cultism.
Yeah, I was a victim of autism at a very tender age, but I didn't really go into that because
You were still
I was
tender.
very, very much younger and all of that. But I was still there, on and there, on and there, all of
You
that.
got initiated.
Exactly.
Did she know about this?
My mom actually wasn't any good thing to write home about, in as much as she was trying. But she's not someone I would look up to, and she wasn't even really interested. She had her own life, was
Like,
so ever overwhelming for her.
yeah.
So she was facing a whole lot of challenges, and so she wasn't really concerned about my social life and all of that. Even I had to skip school many times because there was no money to pay my school fees and all of that. But I was, just like I said earlier, I was very much younger, so I didn't
Yeah.
really understand.
Get into
Yeah, and
the
all of that.
nefarious activities.
Exactly. I
Okay.
was just struggling with drug addiction and all of that.
You said something. You said you were not submissive.
Yeah.
That if you understood submission as you do now, you would have nurtured your relationship with the families who tried helping you, right?
The more you grow, the more you have
Yeah.
more experiences, and you become a better version of yourself as God helps you with all of that.
You talked about going to HK.
Yeah.
You said something about getting yourself involved in Yahoo.
Yeah.
As you were trying to see means to survive and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How did it all start?
Yeah, I met a friend on Facebook. Just like you said earlier, I was looking for every possible means to survive because I was all alone. So I just need to do everything to survive. So I met a friend on Facebook, a female friend of mine.